It is now my pleasure and an honor to recognize another extraordinary public servant of our country, Lieutenant General Ed Rowny. General Rowny has had a sprawling career as a soldier, diplomat, and civic leader. He served 5 presidents spanning both parties, Nixon, Ford, Carter, Reagan, and Bush. He received the President's Citizens Medal in 1989, where he was cited for being one of the principal architects of the Peace Through Strength policy. As a young man studying in Europe, he attended the 1936 Olympics in Berlin. After seeing Nazism firsthand, he realized that a war was inevitable, and he matriculated at West Point. In World War II, he served as a battalion commander in Italy. In the Korean War, he served with General Douglas MacArthur as a planner of the bold, improbable, and extraordinary amphibious landing at Incheon, which forced a North Korean retreat and enabled the liberation of Seoul. In the Vietnam War, he was an architect of utilizing the helicopter as an instrument of battle in the creation of the air cavalry. As if this storied record of military service was not enough, in 1971, President Nixon appointed him U.S. representative to the Strategic Arms Limitation Talks, SALT. After serving 3 presidents in that capacity, President Reagan reappointed him with the rank of ambassador as his chief strategic arms reduction negotiator. General Rowny's role in these protracted, devilishly complex, and vexing negotiations with the Soviets was undertaken with brilliance, courage, clear-headedness, and determination. From my experience, I saw that most State Department officials saw arms control as an arena of compromise to achieve common mutual interests. But the Soviets saw it as a theater of political warfare and propaganda, a battlefield that served their unilateral advantage. They could use arms control and the arms control negotiating process to induce the American public to pressure our government to make concessions. Meanwhile, the Soviet public had no such leverage over its government. On top of this, the Soviets not only violated every treaty they signed, but they had a strategy to violate these treaties in order to secure not only military advantage, but intelligence and counterintelligence advantages. Most people in the arms control industry chose not to know these facts, many out of willful blindness, others out of wishful thinking, others out of sheer lack of education. They wanted negotiations to continue, no matter what the Soviets did, and the negotiating process was more important to them than the substance. In the face of this American naivete and Soviet Machiavellianism, there was a force of realism, sobriety, and determination to ensure that U.S. national security would not be compromised. It was General Rowny. He was the boy with his finger in the dike who kept the process honest in the protracted day after day test of wills. America owes him an enormous debt of gratitude. Since retiring from government, he's published his memoir on all of these extraordinary experiences and has been active in his community and in public diplomacy. To strengthen ties with one of our newer NATO allies, he has served as president of the Paderewski Living Memorial, which funds scholarships for American students to study in Poland, and as president of the American-Polish Advisory Council. We are honored to have him with us today.
Thank you very much. I must say that it's a very proud moment to be in the same company with Kennedy Grafenfield and Bud McFarlane, 2 great national heroes. I first met Ken Grafenwehr when President-elect Reagan asked me to take over the transition team for the intelligence community. I had inherited 8 people. 4 were extreme right and 4 were extreme left. And what to do? I went to a man by the name of Casey, and who became the new intelligence man. He said, go get Ken Grafenwehr. I went to get him, brought him in. He became the 9th member and the linchpin for that transition team, which turned over from Stansfield Turner to Casey. Casey told me once that Grafenwehr was the #1 intelligence man in the country, and I believe it. The other man I'm proud to be in company with, of course, is Bud McFarlane. We served together when he was on the National Security Council and advising President Reagan. The cabinet of Reagan was advising him to take it easy on spending so much money. He said, you know, we have double-digit inflation, we have double-digit unemployment, and here you are spending money on defense. And McFarlane reminded them that as President of the United States, President Reagan's #1 mission was to look after the security of the United States. So there lay the seeds of peace through strength. Now, I want to congratulate the members of 2014 for a number of reasons. First, you have excellent leadership here in John Luchowski. And notice I said Luchowski and not Lunchowski. But anyway, that's so bad. I'll stick with Lunchowski. So good trustees, wonderful faculty, and members who teach here along with the staff at the Institute of World Politics. I congratulate you for a number of reasons, but I'll point out only 3. First, it's very important that you enter this field which has become so neglected. In the last 20 years, the amount of newsprint and attention in electronic media to foreign affairs has decreased by 80%. Only 20% as much coverage today as 20 years ago. It used to be that you turned on the radio and you heard about what was going on in the world. Now, instead of hearing about the hundreds of thousands of wounded and killed in Serbia, millions displaced, what do you hear but talk about some songstress and her arguments with her brother-in-law. You've got to, you're in a field which needs a great deal of attention, and devoting your time, your life to it is a noble cause right in itself. The second reason I want to congratulate you is that you do have such a fine staff and faculty to teach you, because this is important. Under John's great leadership and his philosophy, which he so well summarized in his talk earlier today, you know that there are, in addition to knowledge, the necessities for moral responsibility and civic responsibility. And that is a very important lesson that you add to the knowledge that you bring to the subject of national security. And the third reason I'll mention is that in this rather congenial collegiate atmosphere, you have a unique opportunity to be mentored. And let me point out and emphasize the importance of being mentored. Most people are not islands of their own, but need outside help. My grandmother had a saying that the thing that's wrong with a self-made man is he's usually the product of unskilled labor. And here you're a product of skilled labor, people who have proved themselves in what they're doing. So you have the great opportunity to being mentored, and I hope you take advantage of it and work with them. I hope at graduation you will join other alumni to carry out this next 5-year strategic plan, and I hope that one of these days soon we'll see our Institute of World Politics be giving out doctorate degrees as well as master's degrees. Once again, congratulations. Thank you very much.